By Keon Foxy in transition. Kentucky connection. Oh my God.
That shot off and then nice serve up on a platter right there. Aaron Fox for Malik Monk.
Back out. They reverse the ball. Jalen Johnson, high flyer. Nice verticality there from Alex Lynn. Here comes swiping in transition. Oh, Malik. He went up to Smyrna and brought back down
than what we've seen here early in this game. And a lot of it comes from in transition, their ability to.
Keon unable to knock it in. Oh, Kentucky to Kentucky connection.
Unit, because they changed the way this game was being played here. It was the Kings did not come out in the third playing the way they should, and the energy level is just.
I've seen so many big leads.
And a good afternoon and a huge thank you to all of you. Court is in session. Ryan in Sacktown coming to you. The dog's crying. You guys hear that in the background? Hope you're having a great day. It is the day we are giving away the Malik Monk autographed jersey. You guys hear that? The heck is going on around here? We're giving away the Malik Monk autograph jersey today. It's not going to be hard to win. I'm making it simple. I'm not going to do anything subjective. I'm going to make it really, really easy on you. We are brought to you by Bennett's West Side Grill in Rockland. Make sure you get over to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. Can you hear him, John? It's insane. It's like he wants to win the jersey. How would he even put a jersey on? And by the way, dogs, animals, they're not supposed to have clothes on them. If you have clothes for your dog, and I'll be honest, we do have one thing for the dog, but that was my wife's thing. It was a Christmas thing where you take your Christmas pictures all wearing the same thing. But yes, go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can learn more about them. And a huge thanks, by the way. I want to start off here telling True Cards and Collectibles a big, big thank you. They are the ones that are hooking it up with the Malik Monk jersey for the Kings Court today. And by the way, Emran Pilati has been on this show. We're hoping to have Emran back throughout the season. Him and I are talking, hoping to get that hooked up. We had a fun conversation. A lot of you loved that conversation about cards, collectibles. It's not even a hobby anymore. It's a business, in fact. And they've got a beautiful shop out in Rockland. You got to make sure that you go check that out. Also, you can find Emran on the radio 10 a.m. every Saturday on 1140. So a huge thanks to True Cards and Collectibles for hooking us up with the Monk jersey today. All right, so let's get to it really quick. Let's talk about the rules of this thing. In order to be eligible to win the Malik Monk jersey, first off, the winner will be picking the jersey up directly from True Sports Cards and Collectibles. So you got to be able to go in and get the jersey from them. But here's the other thing. We're just going to have you retweet the show, the video streaming part of the show. It's streaming both to my X page and it's also streaming to Grant's X page. Now, if you retweet the show from Grant's X page, make sure you include at Ryan_in_Sacktown. And either way you do it, whether it's my page or Grant's page, you have to use the hashtag Kings Court. Hashtag Kings Court. If you're saying, Rhino, I just watch on YouTube. I don't have Twitter. I can't retweet anything. I'm not going to sign up for an account to come be a part of this giveaway. Then all you got to do is text our text and call line, which is 916-399-3748. All the information for today's giveaway is in the bottom ticker. And I'll keep putting this up throughout the show. Text that phone number and just show me a little proof that you're following the King's Court on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. Once I see that, guess what? We've got the Monkster wheel all ready to go. Yes, the Monkster wheel. We will add your name to the wheel. And at the end of the show, here's the area where we will add names or the last 4 digits of your phone number. And we will spin the wheel at the end of the show. And whoever comes up, you are the winner of the Malik Monk autographed jersey compliments of True Sports Cards and Collectibles out in Rockland. Again, a huge thanks to Emran, who's been on the show. That was a wonderful conversation that we had. He is providing the jersey for us today. So hopefully you guys can get entered. I got my Apple Watch on right now, so I can feel it vibrating as we have time in between the show, sound drops. I will keep updating the wheel, but glad everybody's here on a Thursday. We are going to wrap up Thursday tonight. In fact, we will wrap up the sports week tonight. Grant and I at 8 o'clock. Make sure you are able to join us. I know there's a lot going on this week outside of the world of sports, but try to come in live. It's a fun show. We'll talk about a lot of different things. You can take the show any way that you want to take it. And we will definitely be taking phone calls. If you can't catch the show live, catch it on replay if you don't like that on YouTube, or you can download the audio from all of the shows on this platform, minus the King's Court, on Grant's audio platforms, if you don't like that, on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and most other podcast providers. So again, Malik Monk jersey giveaway. I thought about all the different ways. Adam's like, why don't you do the 12 by 12? Not a chance in hell. We're not doing the 12 by 12. I put it up to my group of friends, my really close group of friends that are some of them in the business. I'm like, do you guys have any good ideas? Because I've got to know so many of you here on the King's Court. Like if I asked you, like, all right, come in with your best Malik Monk memory, come in with your best Kings memory. I didn't want to be subjective. I don't want to play favorites. I feel like this is the fairest way to do it. And it gives a little run to the show as well. And again, this is a huge thank you to all of you. We've hit 1,000 followers on the X platform, and then the audio platform. I've talked about that many times. We are already monetized. It is off and running, and that is a huge tribute to all of you. Yeah, it's a little bit slower in the off season because we do the live shows here during the week. But once the season rolls back around, it's going to be full court press coverage of your Kings. Every morning you will have shoot-arounds that will be exclusive to the audio platform. And then obviously we'll still be having the King's Court, but then we get back into pregame, postgame, halftime shows for each and every Kings game here on If You Don't Like That. So it is right around the corner. Can't wait for that. Before we kick off the show and really get into everything, I do want to acknowledge a passing. It is a very important passing. The passing of Al Attles at the age of 87. If you don't know who Al Attles was, he was a living legend. And I mean living legend in the Warriors organization. He's been a coach. He's been a player. He's been a GM. He is just, I don't know how to compare him here in Sacramento, nor do I want to compare him, but he was a trailblazer, one of the first black head coaches in the NBA. Also, for any of you conspiracy theorists out there, Tin Hat Nation, that say that Wilt Chamberlain game, 100 points, never happened. Well, Al Attles had 6 assists in that game. So I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I will say it has been a bad year for the Bay Area in terms of losing legends of their teams, of games. Willie Mays, I could go on, don't really want to, but I thought Steve Kerr yesterday summed it up the best with the passing of Al Attles. Here is Steve Kerr.
Original Warrior, Mr. Warrior, one man who was employed by the same franchise for over 60 years, unprecedented in sports. Al was really the figurehead of this organization for so many years, first as a great player, then as a great coach of the 1975 championship team, of course, a GM, an ambassador, and most importantly, a great friend to the organization.
Well said by Steve Kerr, a living legend in basketball, nonetheless. So, Al Attles, rest in peace. Warriors fans, I know we go at it, we go back and forth, but some things transcend and are much bigger than sports, and that is certainly one of them. All right, there's a lot of ways that we can go on this show today. What do you guys want to get to? I see 82 already out there in the chat. As far as I can see, is Adam the only one that's entered right now? Yes. Right now, Adam is the leader in the clubhouse for the Malik Monk autograph jersey. Nobody else wants to get up in here. What's going on? Come on, give Adam some challenges here. I can't just spin the wheel with one name. Does anybody else want a Malik Monk autograph jersey? It's a pretty damn cool thing. Let's do it. All right. Anyways, ESPN came out with their predictions for the Western Conference and every team's win totals. They broke it down between the contenders. They broke it down between the play-in group and so on and so on, the bottom 5. We can get to that if we want to, but there is a lot of football going on, a lot in the football world, especially with the San Francisco 49ers. John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan both have taken to the podium over the past couple days and given us some updates and some feedback on what to expect with the Brandon Ayuk situation, also the Trent Williams situation. We got some clarity from John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan about Brock Purdy. Why the hell was he playing the other night? And what's up with that play calling? They addressed that. So we've got some sound clips from them, but there was something that was really interesting that came up yesterday. So speaking of the NFL, excuse me, looking at the text messages, the Denver Broncos have named their starting quarterback. Sean Payton has decided to go with.
You know, he's been outstanding. Obviously, there's a ton of room for growth. There's a lot of things that he needs to work on. I've already spoken with both, all 3 of those guys. Stiddy, will be a great resource for him, as well as Zach. And, we feel like that off season, that's such an important position. We made some really good decisions and
So Bo Nix, the starting quarterback for the Denver Broncos, not a big surprise to me. Sean Payton, we talked about it a little bit yesterday. He is so good with that type of quarterback. And I think there really is something to the quarterbacks that stick around for multiple years in college, Bo Nix being one of them. I know he bounced around between multiple programs, but he had success most places that he played. And I'm not saying he's going to step in and the Broncos are going to be 12-5, but what I am saying is I think Sean Payton knows how to use a durable guy like that, a guy that's built pretty well. Think about all the things he's done with Taysom Hill, and Taysom Hill still is going to be an option for the New Orleans Saints. Dennis Allen's going to have to use him however he can, but Sean Payton especially does well with quarterbacks of that nature. And what's it do for guys like Zach Wilson? Is he even going to be on the roster now? Stidham's going to be the backup quarterback there. Most people have Denver pegged to be near the bottom of the AFC West. I would say if there's going to be a surprise team in the AFC West, watch out for Denver. I just got a feeling that this year it's got to pop. And I don't necessarily put it all in. I don't think Sean Payton did a particularly great job of handling Russell Wilson, but Russell Wilson's not the easiest player in the world to handle. And also you have to have a certain type of offense to accommodate Russell Wilson. And one thing that you do have to have that doesn't have anything to do with the offensive side of the ball, it's a great defense. Russell Wilson is not going to go out there and win you games with his arms or with his arm. But when you have that solid defense behind him and you can play that field game or field advantage game, that is where you can find success. So now Sean Payton has a different quarterback. Still, other free agents in the NFL yet to sign, most notably, and we're going to tie back to Bo Nix or to the 49ers here in a second. What's up, James? Hope you're doing good. Yeah, I just said don't sleep on Denver. You know, James, it broke my heart as a Seattle Seahawks fan seeing Russell Wilson last season, knowing what he was his first 3-4 years in Seattle, seeing him fumble the football, sit up on his knees, doesn't go after it, and watches his teammates go after it and they lose the fumble. That's not Russell Wilson. It's not. And I'm not going to say that off the field stuff always bleeds over to the game of play, but Russell Wilson became a dramatically different player and a little bit of a different personality once he went, I don't want to say Hollywood, but he gets married to Ciara, right? And then he kind of, Russ was always under the radar, quiet. You never heard from him, and then it flipped on its head. So everybody changes. Don't know if it was exactly that, but he definitely, if he doesn't have a bounce back year in Pittsburgh, he's done. If you can't bounce back under a Mike Tomlin offense with a Mike Tomlin defense and always usually a really good running game, forget about it. It's not going to happen. Russ will be out of the league. Grumpy King, not trying to ignore you. You feel like it should have been an easy 30 assist game. Yeah, I don't know how many minutes he played. There's all these conspiracy theory people out there that think that game didn't happen. They think that it's made up. Our boy Jay, who calls a lot of times when Grant's on, he's one of those guys. He wanted to have that conversation about whether it happened or not. But yeah, Wilt was so good. He probably did so much of it on his own. But to have played in that game, that's a pretty special thing indeed. Let's see what's up, BJ. BJ, my man. Will he play much? Russell Wilson. The way I see it, I don't know what I think. I thought before 2 weeks ago, and I know he'd been dealing with the calf thing, that Russ would get the start and Justin would be the guy coming off the bench. But something tells me it's flipping a little bit over there. So we will see. Okay, so if you're in SoCal or wherever, we can try to make arrangements. Don't stop from entering because of that. And by the way, if you are just tuning in, I see 98 have checked in at some point via YouTube and X, we are giving away a Malik Monk autographed jersey today, compliments of True Sports Cards and Collectibles out in Rockland. Here's what you got to do. All you got to do is retweet the King's Court. It's streaming live to my X page and also Grant's page. So if you retweet it, hit it with the hashtag King's Court. Now, if you retweet it from Grant's page, do me a favor, include me in that tweet at Ryan_in_Sacktown. If you're not on X at all you got to do is send our phone line a text message, 916-399-3748, just showing that you follow the King's Court either on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Hell, just send us a text message. We'll throw you in there. Want to be fair, want to give everybody a chance to win this jersey, and we are going to spin the wheel at the end of the show right there, and that will be the winner of the jersey, and you can make it out. And again, Bane, I know you're in SoCal. I'm sure we could work something out between us and True Sports. Hell, I'll take care of the shipping if we need to. But a huge thanks again to True Sports Cards and Collectibles, Imran and the team. Why did I do that? He always says, it drives me crazy when people call me Imran. Yeah, Emran and the team out there, absolutely amazing. Also, you can catch Emran at 10 a.m. on 1140. They do a sports cards and collectibles, the True Sports Card show on 1140. So make sure you give them a shout. And a huge thanks to a lot of you after he came on the show. You guys all went out. You supported the shop. We really love that. Appreciated that. I know some of you actually went out and got a jersey. So very cool stuff. James doubts that he is going to beat out Fields. I don't disagree. All right, there we go. We got another one on the text line. We'll get you added to the wheel. BJ seems like a couple of steps away from being ready. He seems a couple of steps away from being a couple steps ready. Yeah. I mean, it's Russell Wilson. I don't know what to expect of him these days. So we're going to tie back to the Niners in a second. But Jerry Jones yesterday was asked if time was running out for the Cowboys to get a deal done with CeeDee Lamb. You know, this has been one of those highly covered Jerry Jones, very public, out there situations where sometimes you have to be able to speak Jerry Jones, and there's very few people outside of Jerry Jones that understand and speak it. But he was asked if the fan base should be worried about where that stands and getting CD to camp in time to have an impact on the Cowboys. Here's what Jerry had to say.
No, and I don't mean that to be insensitive to our fans or to CD, but we're in good shape there, and we are having our promising talks. Say, well, why you keep talking? Won't you do something? Again, as in anything, it takes both of you there at the same time. But I believe it's got the proper amount of everything, emphasis, importance for everybody involved here, and we'll see how it goes.
Not to put words in your mouth, but you're optimistic something will be done?
Well, I think I am. When I say that, doesn't sound too promising. The facts are that I believe we'll come together. I don't want to speak for him. That's what I'm trying not to do. But we wouldn't have offered him what we've offered him if he didn't want him to be here.
All right. So the reason I wanted to play that is this. It's something that not many people have brought up. Is there any way that with this Brandon Ayuk situation dragging on in San Francisco, is there any way that could be possibly connected to the CeeDee Lamb talks, which I think is a fair point? Brandon Ayuk's made it pretty clear. He wants to be paid toward the top of the league. John Lynch was actually on the radio this morning on KNBR. Here's what John had to say about the possibility of those situations being tied together.
Well, I think everything factors into the situation, and so that's the market in general. That's the market at his specific position. And so it's fluid, and that's what sometimes makes these things difficult, and our own constraints, because we've rewarded so many of our players, what we can do, how we value people and things of that nature. So everything is a factor, and that's what makes it a difficult solve, is that there's so many variables. But we've done a great job of that in the past, and we'll continue to. And it's frustrating that we haven't had that breakthrough yet, but we'll remain encouraged and remain focused on our players that are here and doing really, really good things.
So that is John Lynch's take on it. It's at the point where they've got to get these guys in camp. We know that Kyle Shanahan has been much more mum on the situation when it comes to Brandon Ayuk. He was much more optimistic when it came to Trent Williams. John Lynch really likes the rookie class that they have in here. And I've talked a little bit about Dominic Pooney, and I think he has cemented himself as a starting guard for the San Francisco 49ers, who take on the Las Vegas Raiders this weekend in their third and final preseason game. And many are asking, are the Niners going to be playing their starters? There was a lot of questions brought up about the Brock Purdy situation last week. In fact, I was one of the people questioning it. Kyle Shanahan was real quick to clap back on that.
I've had some contact with him. It's been good to talk to him. I know we're
Oops, wrong one. My apologies. Kyle Shanahan was quick to clap back.
I might get what people say, but I think sometimes people are just trying to be a little bit dramatic with it. If we obviously thought it was something that he couldn't protect himself, or the guys couldn't match up at all, then we wouldn't do it at all. But we didn't feel that way. We liked the reps that Brock got. He was excited to play. He was in there with possibly our 2 starting tackles, our starting center, our starting right guard, and Banks was down. So Banks ended up breaking his pinky the day before, and if Banks did, Zakel would have been up. So that could just easily be our opening day O-line. So that's part of football, and they're guys that are NFL players, and so I didn't see it as anything wrong with the offensive line. And I actually thought the offensive line matched up pretty well and did a pretty good job in that game.
So to answer the question, are the starters going to be playing this week? Kyle Shanahan thinks that they are. In fact, Kyle Shanahan expects the starters to play at least a quarter and a half, if not 2 quarters, which I don't have a big problem with. I think that with that time off, you're going to have really 2 weeks off before the start of the season. You got to get a look at some of those guys. I think the Niners are very happy, as I said, with their rookie class, as they absolutely should be. Dominic Pooney, who I said playing really well. The Niners drafted well, but there is a lot of questions still about Ricky Pearsall. Is this guy going to be ready? Is he tough enough to go? Because in some ways, his health ties to some of the situation with Ayuk. What are the Niners going to be able to do out at the wideout position? And then still, there's questions about Christian McCaffrey. Is he going to be able to give it a go? Is he going to be good with that calf injury? All indications are he should be good to go. But, that's a lot of time off. That's a lot of time off for a running back. Kyle talked earlier in the week about how Christian's taking mental reps, and probably at his wedding, he's dancing down the aisle, yet he's thinking about routes. It was a little bit weird. But all those things with the Niners rolling into a huge week 1 game, huge, against the New York Jets, who have a lot to prove. Aaron Rodgers, obviously, coming back off of the injury. And here's something we don't always talk about with Aaron Rodgers that we haven't mentioned in a while. Dude is a little bit jaded still that the Niners did not draft him. There's something special about playing against the 49ers for him. So we will see how that all works out. But the Niners got to have a full deck. They got to get guys in camp. James, all right, so all you got to do, my man James, is, yes, you can retweet it from Grant's page. Do me a favor. Make sure you include me at Ryan_in_Sacktown, and then use the hashtag Kings Court. Hashtag Kings Court. So I'll put this up again. It's also running in the ticker. I'm seeing the text messages come in. I'm seeing the tweets go out. So that's all you got to do to be entered into the Malik Monk free jersey giveaway today. Again, huge thanks to all of you for getting us to 1,000 followers. And a big thanks also to True Sports Cards and Collectibles. Emran's been incredible to us. He was on the show not too long ago. We had a great conversation. Hell, BJ still shows his cards every couple of weeks when he comes on the show. All right, we're going to open it up to you. I'm guessing this guy, because he's like nowhere on social media, still trying to navigate stuff. Hell, it takes him long enough in his daily process to take care of that beard, that beautiful flowing beard. We go to Johnny Finch. Finchy, welcome in.
What's going on, Rhino? How are you? Happy Thursday, everybody.
Happy Thursday, brother.
Okay, man. Now, I want to get in on this Monk jersey, but I'm not on X. The number I have is 399-37748. That can't be right.
399-3748.
Okay, I got 2 sevens in there. I knew that wasn't right, buddy. Awesome.
Yeah,
well, hey,
in the area code,
no matter
555.
555. I got 916, buddy.
I'm joking with you, my man. What's up? Good.
That one I kind of knew. Hey, man, we could talk a little bit about, since it's so close to football season, we haven't really got into it, but the wide receivers, that are still yet to be signed, or they are signed but yet re-signed. Yep. Ayuk and my boy CD. I'm pretty sure that both of those guys are going to be signed by the teams that they're with now. I think John Lynch is one smart individual and one hell of a judge of talent. He's been a judge of talent since he was a kid. I assume ever since he came in the league as a player, he knew how to help his players who need help. Anytime he had something that he needed done, he knew who to rely on. He is one smart individual, and he may believe that the other wide receivers on his crew are going to get him far enough along the season until Ayuk does sign. And as for the Cowboys, I really don't know for sure, because it's Jerry Jones we're talking about. But sure. CeeDee Lamb, look, we're playing the Browns the first week. If we come out and take a crap against the Browns, and hey, I know their quarterback is at Watson. I believe Watson is a little banged up, a shoulder injury or something. But if we come out and don't play extremely well, or even potentially lose that, money says that CeeDee Lamb is going to be on the field the following game. But what I think, both of those guys are going to be on the field week 1 if they're 100%. Ready to go. For some reason, I think they're going to get it done. I think both teams are going to get it done.
So, John,
that's just how I feel about it.
I'm with you that there's no doubt in my mind CeeDee Lamb will be dressed ready to go week 1. But the way this Brandon Ayuk thing is dragging out, and there are a lot of very, very good reporters that are dialed in, and they're all getting different stories. So eventually we'll get the truth when it ends up happening, but you've got some people saying that he's going to be traded on September, I think it was 7th or September 9th. You have some people saying that he's going to re-sign and then be back by this weekend. It's just all over the board. And I guess it goes back to the golden question that we've been asking, John. It's like, if you're the Niners and you are this close to winning a championship, how the hell can you let a guy walk over a couple of extra bucks? And that's a hard one, because this is the year, not next year. The Niners got to get it done this year, John.
Trust me. I know. And I'm no Niners fan, but I'm a fairly objective fan. Those guys got a lot, just a ton of talent, and their schemes. Hey, Shanahan is pretty innovative. But he's been doing this long enough. A lot of the guys, a lot of other teams are up to his schemes and so forth. To have a guy like Ayuk who knows what they're doing now and what the potential changes could be, that helps a team dramatically more than extremely youthful guy who comes in with all the quicks in the world and stuff like that. Having somebody with the know-how of the team and what changes are going to have to be made or what has to stay the same, because not everything has to change, because they are a pretty good team. They've been getting far. But hey, this does not last forever. I mean, even Tom Brady didn't last forever. Granted, that lasted about 20 years, but this doesn't last forever. And if you can expect this, their run to last, what do you want to say? It's been 4 or 5 years now. If you want it to go another 4 or 5, that is hard to do. Even with, I know Brock Purdy's young, and honestly, we still got to see exactly what he is going to become, because he's had so much talent around him, and we all agree, hey, he's top half of I don't know if he's a top 10 quarterback, but he's top half of the league just by what he's showed everybody so far. Their team is so stacked. I'd just be extremely surprised if John Lynch lets Ayuk slip away, just like McCaffrey. Hey, they were damn quick to sign McCaffrey, and that was a more important sign than any of the receivers. And look at Trent Williams. That's another thing we haven't even talked about, but that guy is just as important to a passing game or a running game or absolutely anything like that. He is very, very, very important, and they need to take care of that.
Spot on.
Well,
that is the top priority. In fact, if you listen to John Lynch talk about it, if you listen to Kyle Shanahan talk about it in terms of Trent Williams, they are very close. And that's one of those things where you don't need him getting hurt before the season, but you're coming up on that time period where he's got to get into camp probably within the next, I would say, maximum 5 to 7 days.
I agree with that, and I didn't really bring that up, that the veterans don't need as much warm up before the season starts. Veteran receivers not as much. But listen, when you're a member of an offensive line or a defensive line, you are just one of 4 or 5 guys in there. So if you're gone, you're 20% or 25% of that team that is struggling to get after the quarterback or protect your own. And those 4 or 5 guys work in so well together, and they have to work well together. So I don't know. It makes me wonder, is he even working out separately, or is he allowed to work out separately with some of the guys? Because that is what's going to be very important, is getting blocking schemes down and all that kind of stuff that happens on the interior, not out 60 yards downfield and 30 yards to the side or anything like that.
100%, especially when you got new guys on the line. He's going to have Dominic Pooney probably starting right next to him, rookie guard.
Yeah, that blows me. That
hell of a camp.
I'm kind of surprised that Pooney is going to be the starting guy, but hey, it's just why I say if John Lynch trusts him, and he's actually has looked pretty good for a rookie.
Yes,
that could be a huge asset to them, and that could be something that may want Trent Williams to say, you know what, I need to get on board with these guys now, because they know that time is running out. I mean, time is not thin, but they're in the middle to, at very best in the middle of their potential run of not dominance, but run of quality capability to get to a Super Bowl and maybe win one. I mean,
no doubt.
And look, man, I know that they've been competitive and gotten to some Super Bowls, but they have not. Look, my Cowboys have won a Super Bowl more recently than those 49ers, only by 1 year, but man, it's been 30 years, Yep. So it just goes to show. You never know. This is why we play them, buddy. This is why we do it. And I love that football's coming. Love that football's coming back, buddy.
Love it, Fitchy. Thank you for the call, my man.
Hey, man, I got to hang up, and I got to go 399-3748 to get in on that jersey, because there's got to be Adam. And who else is in there now? How many you got?
So we've got Adam. We've got last 4 digits of the phone number, 4925. We've got Jack, BJ. I already put you in, Finch, because I know you're going to send it. We've got Justin S.
You're the man, Ryan.
We've got 9454, last 4 digits of the phone number, and 1784, last 4 digits of the phone number. So we've got 8 in there. Again, get in this contest. Do you not want a Malik Monk signed jersey? All right, Johnny, appreciate the call, brother.
So, hey, Ryan, if you put me in there, do I need to go and to hang up and text that in because
Yes.
I've got other crap going and I will
gotta
do it.
follow
But
the
if you put
rules.
me in there,
Follow the rules.
okay, I'm doing
Richie.
it. 399-3748 coming up, buddy.
You got it, buddy. All right, my man.
Have a great one, bro. Have a great one.
You too.
Thanks, everybody.
John, I love John Fitch. He is the best. He's like Fox and Monk when it came to that press conference in LA.
I don't give a over there.
Yeah, we ain't worried about that.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, man, we here. We here.
John's just like, I don't give an F. We here. I'm here. Put me in the contest. No, you have to follow the rules, my man. What's up, Tiff? How you doing? That's one of my friends. I see you there. Yes, we talk a little bit of everything here, Tiff. We talk some basketball. We talk some football. We talk WWE. There's WWE in the chat, Tiff. We started off with some basketball, though. Let's reset the contest for anybody just joining us right now. As a big thank you to all of you. We are giving away an autographed Malik Monk jersey, compliments of True Sports Cards and Collectibles in Rockland. All you got to do now, the show is streaming to YouTube. It's streaming to my X account. It is also streaming to Grant's X account. You can retweet the show from either X account. Make sure that you include the hashtag King's Court. Hashtag King's Court. If you're not on X, send us a text message showing that you're watching the show, that you followed the show. You can text our call-in line at 916-399-3748. I've got the Malik Monk wheel going right now. We are going to spin this at the end of the show. There's everybody that's entered so far. We're going to spin it. Whoever's name comes up, you will be the winner of the jersey. And again, a huge thanks to Emran and the crew at True Sports Cards and Collectibles for providing the signed Malik Monk jersey for us. Make sure you go check them out in Rockland. Also, make sure that you check out the True Sports Cards show Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. on 1140. Emran's a great dude. He's been on this show before. I love this story about, he is so into cards, by the way, and cards are just like a small segment of what he's done professionally and what he does professionally, but it's such a lifestyle to him. He named one of his kids Beckett. Anybody that's 40 or younger, or 40 or older, you know what a Beckett is. We ran to the card stores. We would open our packs and we would be throwing the Beckett magazine on the counter, trying to figure out what it is worth. Here we go. 3809. Welcome to the party. We will add you to the wheel. We also got another one as well. And then you're going to be picking up the jersey from True Sports Cards and Collectibles. If for whatever reason you are one of the people that's a regular around here, but you don't live in Sacramento or California, we will try to get something figured out so we can try to get it shipped to you. I'm sure Emran would work with me on that. I'm happy to take care of the shipping on that. 3804, welcome in. You are part of the wheel, or 3808, excuse me, 3808. And again, we're doing the wheel live on the air. Tiffy, she is entering. Tiffany, how did we get 3808 and then 3809? That's insane. Back to back. You guys have almost the exact same numbers, but welcome in. Here we go. Okay, now we're heating up. Now it is getting going. 0579. Welcome to the party. Again, either retweet the show or include the hashtag King's Court, or you can text our call-in line 916-399-3748. 748. All right. This thing is heating up. I love it. Welcome in. Happy to have everybody here on the Kings Court. We are talking NFL. We are talking NBA, Sacramento Kings. We talked a little Al Attles. His unfortunate passing at the age of 87. Basketball, just legend within the Golden State Warriors organization. We can keep going over a lot of things. We've got some sound bites from Kyle Shanahan. Look, we've got WWE now breaking out into the chat as well. Here we go. I knew this was going to happen. We're talking about Rhea Ripley, and we're talking about Liv Morgan. Come on. Here we go. Can we save this for Friday? Baki asking about Baki. You want it to be shipped internationally. All right. Well, retweet the show. We will put you in there. Bane going in on the Horseman. Horse has 3 wives are sided up for him. Yeah, that is cheating. I'm going to watch out for Haunted Horse trying to get up in this contest. I'm not going to let him cheat. He's not even a Kings fan. How do we let him in the contest? That can't work. By the way, I do want to hit this really quick before I tell you a little something about Bennett's West Side Grill. Did you guys hear what happened yesterday with the NFL? Check this out. The NFL sent press releases around to the various reporters. A lot of the national... Flores, text the show. All you got to do is text the show, baby. 916-399-3748. Text the show and you're in. Oh, Finch, what's your number? I got to take you. You know what? I'll just delete Finch. There we go. I can't have Finchy in there twice. No cheating. But anyways, yeah, Flores, text the show 916-399-3748. We will get you in there. All right. We will get you in the contest again to win a Malik Monk autographed jersey, compliments of True Sports Cards and Collectibles. All right, really quick, I do want to talk about this. The NFL yesterday sent out a press release, and this is on the back of, remember, the Sunday Ticket lawsuit that was not thrown out, but overruled by a judge, saying that the jury could not possibly have reached a fair decision based off of the expert testimony that was provided by each side in court, which makes, I talked about it yesterday, very little sense. I come from a legal background. If you're a judge, yes, I got you, Derek, 6422, you're in there, brother. So if you're a judge and you have a problem with the expert testimony, tell them right there. Don't let them go through days of testimony. You call it out. But anyways, I'm not a judge, never was. So back to the point. The NFL scores a huge win with the Sunday Ticket thing. Now, the plaintiffs are going to have to either file for a reconsideration from the judge, which probably is going to do nothing. The more likely of the two scenarios, file an appeal with a higher court. They have to do that within 30 days, and it will be reviewed probably somewhere in the next 12 months. Well, coming off of that, the NFL sent press releases around about what they're doing to keep gambling out of the game. Yes, gambling out of the game. We see DraftKings. We see all these different daily fantasy sites, ESPN Bet, different sports books, Bet US. In fact, one of them sent me a book. I don't even bet with them, and they sent me a book. How the hell did you get my address? Anyways, I don't bet at all. But getting back to the point, they're some of the biggest advertisers in the world of sports right now. And so you look at how the leagues are making money off of them, yet they're having controversy after controversy after controversy when it comes to athletes betting on sports. You had an NBA athlete who ended up betting a wild prop on himself in a game that he was playing in and won the bet, but got caught. We've got the whole Shohei Ohtani situation with his agent. Now, I know that doesn't necessarily affect Shohei, right? But then you've got the NFL. They have had their fair share. Their hands are not clean either, but they wanted to issue a press release to say, hey, look at us. We have not had a known gambling conflict with a player, scandal. We have not found a player to be gambling in the NFL that we know of in the last 12 months, a little bit over 12 months. So you get the national reporters pushing this stuff out, right? And then the NFL takes it a step further. NFL senior VP of security, Kathy Lanier, explains that the league has assigned an integrity representative to each team, a practice that dates back to 2018. The integrity representative, quote, roamed stadiums from the sidelines to the press box during the games looking for, quote, fair competition issues, end quote. Quote again, they're looking for anything that is an anomaly, anything that stands out, anything that might raise concerns, Lanier said. So these integrity representatives, by the way, NFL, you are not. These integrity representatives are ex-cops. They're ex-FBI agents. They are taking it, or the NFL feels they are taking it that far. Well, let me ask you a question. If you're an NFL player, do you think that you're going to have your phone with you on the field of competition and be placing bets where this integrity representative is going to catch you? If you're an NFL player and the integrity representative is in the locker room, do you think you're going to be calling your bookie? If you're an NFL player and you have the integrity representative standing by your locker, are you going to be putting a bet in online? I don't think so. Even more than that, these guys are smart enough to know that you got to have a fall guy. You got to have a fall guy. There should always be, and I am not saying betting's okay, but in most of these cases, there is a middleman. Most NFL players, most pro athletes are not dumb enough to put straight bets on their own teams in their own names. So, NFL, way to go around to do a victory lap and a high five around the media to say we haven't had a known gambling scandal in a year. Should we think about that? We haven't known, or we haven't had a known gambling scandal in a year. Was it not like 5 or 7 years ago that if there was a gambling scandal, it would take over the news cycle, not just for a day, but for a week? And then it'd start bigger conversations. Now we hear about gambling scandals in sports, right? And it's like, oh, okay, just another one. So the NFL is now patting themselves on the back. Get the hell out of here, NFL. Give me your thoughts on that. I just think it is absolutely ridiculous. Tiffany says, I think it's to prevent press box people from telling people outside the stadium what the strategy is before it happens on the field. They have so many different ways, Tiff, of tipping that stuff off. And by the way, that stuff is so coded, Tiff, that a integrity representative wouldn't understand the different codes and languages and signals that they may be using to tipping off. It's not going to be like, hey, the play is 32, 6x left, Z swing on one. They're not going to do that. So I get it. Maybe it's part of it, Tiff, but really what it sounds like is it's a look at us. We're trying to do something about gambling. We're paying somebody to walk around the sidelines, walk around the locker room, walk around the press boxes so we can say we're taking an extra step against gambling, even though we're taking millions, hundreds of millions of dollars from these gambling sites. It's crazy. ESPN now? Are you kidding me? ESPN has ESPN Bet. What's next? The Phoenix Suns, their arena has it's basically a suite where you can go and make bets in game. It's nuts. I mean, we're going to be coming to the point where it's going to be common, I think, where announcers, we see it more and more. Gosh, why can't I think of his last name right now? Legendary Al Michaels. Sorry about that. Al Michaels used to make all these little inside jokes about gambling. He's always been big into gambling, right? And following the books. Not saying he's a big gambler, but it's something he follows. So if he's calling a game and there's a play that ends up turning the bet into a bad beat, oh, that's underwhelming. And so it would be coded language. We're getting to the point where announcers are going to say, hey, you can take an in-player or you can take an in-game bet right now. Hurry to DraftKings.com and get the odds plus 300 that this free throw won't go in. Like, we're going down that path. That is where we're headed. But at the same time, it's really not. If you think about the alternative of it, if you really do, it's so much safer than it was 20 years ago, where you could bet with a bookie when you don't have the money, and then you're putting your family at risk and putting people in danger. At least now you got to have the money in your account to make the bet, online. And then it's on you if you get in trouble for betting away the, rent for that month or whatever it may be. I mean, only bet what you can afford to lose, but it's getting out there. It is definitely getting crazy. Appreciate all the messages coming in. Mark, what's up, man? Al Michaels would always mention the backdoor cover. Always, right? It was part of his shtick, and now it's nothing you need to hide anymore. Hell, Brett Musburger, he left calling games to start up his gambling radio show and his business in Vegas. I don't know what casino it is, but they broadcast literally right outside of a sports book every single day. Brent Musburger. So incredible stuff. All right. Remember, we are giving away a Malik Monk jersey today. We are coming down to the wire, probably about another 20 minutes to enter. It's a huge thank you to all of you for helping us get to 1,000 subscribers on the King's Court. So here's what you got to do. Retweet the show today. It's streaming to Grant's X page, also streaming to my X page. When you retweet it, make sure you include the hashtag King's Court. Hashtag King's Court. If you want to make it easy on me and you retweet it from Grant's page, do me a favor and tag me in it so I can see it a little bit easier. If you don't have X, no problem. All you got to do, send us a text message and just send us a picture showing us that you are following, if you don't like that, and or the King's Court. You can send that to 916-399-3748. In just 1 minute, we are going to go over the people that are entered so far, because I want to make sure that I do not miss out on anybody. I want to make sure we get everybody in here. 4716, you are in. 6880, we already got you. Oh, did we get you, Flores? No, we did not. Let's get you in there. 4716. All right, and we're going to spin this wheel here in just a little bit, and you will win. If it comes up on you, you will win the signed Malik Monk jersey. And again, I want to give a huge shout out And a big thank you. Here's our wheel, by the way, if you want to see. Here is everybody that we got. I still got a couple of X1s to update. That's everybody that we got so far. And there's the wheel. We're going to spin it at the end of the broadcast. But this would not be possible without Emran and the team at True Sports Cards and Collectibles out in Rockland. Huge thanks to them for hooking us up with the signed Malik Monk jersey. The winner, by the way, X followers, Mark, between X followers and then also followers on the podcast, between Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We're up to about 1,000 subscribers on there. So it's a big thank you to everybody. Baki, I got you, brother. Hold on. I'll put you on. I got to catch up with the X followers. But first, I want to thank everybody that is a part of the show right now and hanging out with us and helping us get to 1,000. But again, huge thanks to Emran and the team over at True Sports Cards and Collectibles. Emran's been on this show. We had a great conversation about a month and a half ago. Can't wait to have him back on. The winner will pick up the jersey directly from them. If you are out of state, we will make accommodations. Either myself, we'll figure out the shipping for it. It'll be shipped from the store. And make sure you go check them out, by the way. You can also catch Emran on the You can catch Emran on the radio, 10 a.m. on Saturdays, 11:40, the True Sports Cards show. Show them some love. I know he was at Fanatics Fest and took part in that in New York and also at the National Card Show. So, Baki, I got you, brother. You just got to do one. Baki's blowing me up on the DMs right now. So we will throw Baki in there. And yes, we are having a fun show. Baki, you are entered and good to go, my man. So I got you in there. We got somebody from Hawaii, 4716. I freaking love it. One other thing that I love, and I know most of you, a lot of you, have gone out and found that you love it too. That is Bennett's West Side Grill in Rockland, located in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com. You can learn more about all three of their locations. That's right, 3 locations: Rockland, Roseville, Howe, and Fair Oaks. We frequent many of them. In fact, Grant and I are going to be hitting up Bennett's here in the next couple weeks. Grant's going to be back in town next week, so you might see us there. Come by the table and say hello. But if you don't know about all the different specials, you have got to go to their website again, Bennett'sRestaurants.com, and check them out. It is not, if you're like Rhino, it's probably so expensive. No. Bottle of wine, 2 entrees on Monday night, $69. Bottle of champagne, 2 entrees, $49 for brunch. Really hard to beat these days. And Bennett's has a beautiful patio. They have prime cuts of steaks, amazing sandwiches, fresh grilled seafood, out of this world. The redfish, one of my favorites for sure. And their soup, salads. Oh man, I'm getting hungry just thinking about it. Many of you, like I said, have checked it out. If you make it out there, make sure you let them know that you heard about them here on If You Don't Like That. And if you want to send us a picture on the X, Grant or I will definitely retweet that. So a huge thanks to Bennett's West Side Grill in Rockland for sponsoring the King's Court today. And again, a massive thank you to Emran. What am I doing? Talking too fast. Huge thanks to True Sports Cards and Collectibles for providing the signed Malik Monk jersey that we are going to be giving away momentarily. We are getting there. I got to make sure that I'm not forgetting anybody on the X. Oh, Eric in the South Side. All right, Eric, I see you. Eric wants a part of this. We got Mark in there too. Do I got Mark in here? We got to get Mark. So we're updating the X right now. We got Eric in there. Who else? We got Baki in there, and then we're caught up. All right. We are getting closer and closer to giving the jersey away. All right, let's talk a little Kings before we wrap things up. ESPN.com came out, or I should say ESPN Plus has come out with their predictions for every team win-loss in the Western Conference. They've also put teams into categories, whether they're going to be contenders, whether they're going to be play-ins, and then the rest, as you can guess. I've talked about this since the schedule came out for the Kings. You know, Grant and I have broke it down pretty well. We've talked about it. Remember, Jerry Reynolds joins this show every Tuesday for Jerry Reynolds Tuesday. We talked about the schedule earlier this week. The Kings actually are one of two teams in the Pacific Division that are not in the top 5 in the NBA of toughest schedules. So the rest of the Pacific Division, excluding the Kings and, go figure, the Lakers, are not in the top 5, but the rest of the division is. Phoenix is in there. The Clippers are in there. Who else do you think is in there? Yes, Oklahoma City, but they're not Pacific Division. In fact, all of the teams, I should say, are Western Conference teams. It goes like this. Number 5, Oklahoma City. Number 4, Golden State. Remember, Golden State was number 1, I believe, last year. They had 17 back-to-backs. Then at number 3, you've got the Mavs. Number 2, the Clippers. And number 1, the Phoenix Suns. So even though the Kings' schedule, to me, doesn't really, other than the beginning of the season, give the Kings a good shot at putting, as I like to call it, a little fat on their bones. Yes, for you clones out there, I do not have the sound drop queued up. My apologies. I can hit you with LA Knight. Yeah. All right. So they've got to, in the Kings, they have to come out to a quick start this season, because their best chance, as I said, to put some fat on their bones is from the start of the season through the end of December. In fact, the Kings only play 3 road games in December. Now, it gets really tough after that. Really tough. The Kings have 16 back-to-backs overall. Some of the games that the Kings are, like the Pelicans, for instance, who the Kings went 0-6 against last year. They play the Pelicans 3 times within 10 days, and that's the season series. And 2 of those games are back-to-backs. They play the Pelicans on the road, back-to-back nights. The Lakers, that we've talked about a lot. The Kings are done completely with the Lakers by the end of December, but then they play the Lakers 3 times in December within a span of 9 or 10 days. So there's some quirky things about the schedule, but that's not really what gets me. It's looking at the schedule in March. The Kings homestand, one of their main homestands, it is brutal. In fact, you've got a back-to-back that's Oklahoma City and Boston, and then let's actually make it a little worse. How about you add the Bucks into that, and you've got the Bucks, Oklahoma City, and Boston, 3 games in 4 nights. And then the Kings, end of the schedule, they make another late road trip this year, 6-game road trip to the East Coast. Now, granted, much easier than last year's East Coast swing to end the year, but still a little different. And then when they come home from that schedule, they've got 3 home games left on it. And coming home off that road trip, you get 1 day of rest, and then you welcome the Denver Nuggets. So the Kings have some uphill battles with this schedule, but these other teams in the Pacific Division outside of the Lakers have it much worse. Now, getting back to ESPN.com, the Kings over-under, according to DraftKings this year, is 46 and a half games. 46 and a half games. So tell me in the chat, which way are you going? You think it's going to be over? Do you think it's going to be under? I'd love to get your take. Dorian, did you really? My man. Dude, did you got the fried chicken and the waffle fries? Yes. Amazing. They also have the fried chicken. You get half fried chicken, half ribs, and waffle fries. I love it. You asked about Brian, told that he's on bed rest. Yes, Brian is taking a little break. His daughter is managing the location off of Howe and Fair Oaks. But, dude, Dorian, thanks for supporting us and getting out there. Dorian, we're giving away the jersey today. The signed Malik Monk jersey. You gotta get qualified. All you got to do, retweet the show on X, my man, or you can text us 399-3748. Just show us that you're watching or following the show. We'll add you in there. Compliments, the autographed Malik Monk jersey, compliments of True Sports Cards and Collectibles out in Rockland. We'll spin the wheel here, and then I'll contact the winner privately after the show to make arrangements. So anyways, getting back to the Kings. I think the Kings are going to be over this year. I've already been on record saying that. I think they will be over 46.5 wins. ESPN.com, ESPN Plus is predicting, by the way, that the Western Conference standings will roll out like this. They've got the Thunder at 57-25, finishing number 1. As we sit today, don't really disagree with it. I don't. Alberto, if you don't have Twitter, text the show, brother. Text the show, 916-399-3748. 916-399-3748. Aldo, I got you. Yep, Flores, I got you, brother. There we go. I'm looking at I've got the phone number going, making sure I'm not forgetting anybody. And then over here, we got the X. So, Oklahoma City 57-25, Minnesota 54-28. Adam says 50 wins. Interesting. I don't know if Minnesota is going to get to 54, and here's why. I think that Minnesota plays better without Karl Anthony Towns, and I know that ownership is reevaluating the roster this year. They've made that clear. And when they say they're reevaluating the roster, that tells me they're reevaluating Karl Anthony Towns and there we go, Dorian, you are in, and his contract and what they want to do with him, especially when you got a guy like Naz Reid. Naz Reid, to me, made that team better while Cat was out of the lineup. And I'm not going to discount Anthony Edwards. Anthony Edwards is the real deal. He's young. He is a throwback 2-guard. It's like he stepped out of a time machine playing back in the late 80s, 90s against Jordan, Richmond, all those, real classic 2-guards that we think of. But 54 wins, I don't know that Minnesota's going to get there. So that one's a little bit suspect to me. Then they've got Dallas at 3, 52-30. Tough to say. Did Dallas just hit their stride at the right time last year? I don't know. Can Kyrie, Luka hold that together? Should be interesting. Then you've got Denver, 52-30. Here's my concern about Denver. They lost a lot, and I mean a lot, of firepower off of that bench. And your first-round draft pick, who was expected to be your backup center in Deron Holmes, tears his Achilles in Summer League. KCP to Orlando. Jamal Murray is usually good for missing 15 to 20 games. And when Murray isn't on the court with Jokic, usually doesn't turn out so great, or at least they struggle a lot more than usual. So what's going to happen with that team? Are they good enough to still win 52? Probably, but I would not be surprised if they fall off into the play-in game. I'm saying that today. I've said it before. We'll see. Number 5, completely disagree with the Phoenix Suns, 49-33. Phoenix took the Kings. They stole 2 games from the Kings at the end of the year last year. No doubt about it. That was more about the Kings losing than Phoenix winning. The Kings beat themselves, and those were 2 huge games that catapulted Phoenix into the playoffs. But throughout the tenure of Durant, Booker, Beal, even when it was Durant, Booker, it hasn't worked. We've seen a sample size. They do a little bit more to improve the roster. Yes, I understand that. I don't see them at 49 and 33. Then that brings us to number 6. Let's get to the chat really quick and get your thoughts. Yeah, Derek, you're right. Good luck trading Cat with that contract. Yes, he has got a nasty contract. And anybody that's thinking Cat would be a good fit for Sacramento, forget about it. Not a chance in hell. Baki, those are only odds. I don't see Minnesota or OKC better teams than the Kings. Oh, dude, I disagree. OKC is a way better team than the Kings as they sit today on paper. 100% better than the Kings. And you know I love the Kings, but I've got to be unbiased and I've got to be fair. The Kings are not as good as Oklahoma City. Not a chance. Now, could they be? Maybe. But I do think Oklahoma City is the class of the Western Conference. Let's see. So I hope we're going to be better. I hope that too, Bucky. He's going over still. Derek hopping back in. OKC might fall off a bit. I don't see it. Adam, he's with me. OKC loaded up this season. Zach, 48 wins. I don't think the chemistry will take long. I do agree with you there. Thankfully, the front end is lighter, so there's room to figure it out. Agreed there. Absolutely. Good point there. BJ, Cat overrated with that contract price. No doubt. Cat, he's soft. Let's be real about it. He's soft. The best way to defend them is get up in his grill, make him drive it to the hoop, because we saw what happened in the playoffs when Cat put it on the deck. His own team didn't want him putting it on the deck. Derek hopping back in. Beal needs to be healthy. Nurkic is a downgrade at center. Booker and KD are legit. Yes, they are, but it hasn't seemed to work. It hasn't. Between the two of them, they're great players individually, but it has not worked. Adams got Phoenix at 44. BJ, OKC, greater than the Kings. He's with me. Baki is now with me, but only on paper. All right, so getting to number 6, your Sacramento Kings, 47 and 35. ESPN Plus has them at 47 and 35. Take it for what you will, but very encouraging there. And I don't disagree. I've got the Kings penciled in at the 6th seed. In fact, I got the Kings, assuming the Kings are healthy, and that's a huge assumption. I think the Kings win 50 games this year. And if they win 50, I think it's going to be over 50. I think it's going to be 51 or 52. I'll make my official prediction as we get closer to the season, as it's the slow time right now. Most guys on vacation for the most part. The execs on vacation right now, because once September rolls around, it is time for getting ready for training camp, media day, and then you start training preseason. And before we know it, October, Kings basketball right back here. The Kings, ESPN Plus took the over and they set the bet. Oh, interesting, Tiff. So the Kings actually, by the way, I'll do this and then we'll get ready to give the Monk jersey away. I was looking at the odds for the futures. So for the Western Conference, Oklahoma City plus 320. They're your favorites. But then you've got Dallas plus 400. I don't think that's a great bet. Denver plus 400. Don't think that's a great bet either. Minnesota, because of Anthony Edwards, don't have a problem with it. They've got the Lakers, y'all. They've got the Lakers at plus 1,400. What? Plus 1,400? Phoenix plus 1,400. Memphis plus 1,800. I don't disagree. Then it's Golden State, and then your Kings at plus 2,200. Then from there, New Orleans, the Clippers, Houston, San Antonio, Portland, and actually with the longest odds to win the Western Conference, Portland and Utah at plus 50,000. Plus 50,000. All right. We have been leading up to this moment all show. We're going to close off the entries. I think I've got everybody on there. In fact, let's go to the Monk screen again. We're going to get ready to give away the autographed Malik Monk jersey as a huge thank you to all of you helping us get to 1,000 followers / subscribers for the King's Court. And a huge thanks again, a huge thanks to True Sports Cards and Collectibles for providing us with the beautiful, beautiful Malik Monk signed jerseys. Make sure you go check them out. In fact, I am so sorry. I left their information down. Make sure you go check out True Sports Cards and Collectibles. They are out in Rockland, located off Stanford Ranch Road. Sweet Pea. Somebody sneak it in. Sea-Dog just snuck in. Sea-Dog got in by the skin of his skin of your tail, my man. All right, Sea-Dog, you are in. So we're going to put this up for a couple of seconds. Want to make sure that everybody, and I'm using the honor system, if you texted the show or you retweeted the show, either your name or the last 4 digits of your phone number are going to be there. I'm going to put it up full screen right now, and I'm going to give it like 10, 15 seconds. I'm going to have a drink of water. You guys look at it, and you let me know if you see your name or you don't see your name, because I want to be fair to everybody. Here we go. Let's get this full screen for you. Here are the names. Let's take this down really quick. All right. No, we don't want any more captions. There we go. All right. So does everybody see themselves there? Either the last 4 digits of your phone number or your name. Honor system here. Gonna leave that up for just a couple more minutes. In fact, we will play a quick soundbite. Speaking of football and Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch, I do have one more that I wanted to play. This is John Lynch on how he feels the rookies are looking so far in camp.
Well, I think everything.
Oh, wrong one. My bad. Here we go. John Lynch on the 49ers rookies. As you look at the list.
We're patient and really, really excited about Ricky and his development. And rookie at any position coming in is a tough leap. And then at wide receiver in this offense, it's a lot, but Ricky can handle a lot. It's not ideal, to say the least, that, he's been off to the side. The good news is Ricky's been able to run and do all these things, but with the type of injury he had, the time up front was critical to allowing for the best result. And so we've been giving him that time. He's been deep in the playbook. He's been in all the meetings. He's been doing his rehab vigorously. Ricky's a worker, and he's a very talented football player. So we've been doing the best we can given the circumstances. Ricky's been excellent in doing his part, and I think it's going to be soon where we can get him back out there on the field and really try to accelerate the process. He's going to be a big part of what we do, and we're as high on him as we were when we were drafted or higher. And when he's been out there, it's been really good. Unfortunately, he's ran into a couple of injuries, and those things happen, and you have to have the patience. It'd be foolish just to rush him saying, hey, we have to have him ready. He's a rookie. Well, that's not real smart if he's not going to be healthy. And so I appreciate Kyle and his staff allowing us the patience, for the health and performance staff to give kind of the markers as to when he's ready to get back out there. And I know he's getting close to being back out there on the field.
All right. I appreciate you guys being honest. I can't believe Corn Dog isn't in here either. Isn't that funny? All right. Are we all good? BJ, appreciate Appreciate the honesty. All right, BJ, I got you. You're out of there now. I took your name out. Okay. Yeah, I made it. Hold on. Yeah, I made it for some of the show. Kevin. Okay, Kevin, you're here on a daily basis. Retweet the show, Kevin. Retweet it or text the show 916-399-3748 so I can throw you in the contest. You are here all the time. Yeah, Corn Dog, you know what? Maybe he's sticking to his word, by the way. He has changed to volleyball. He doesn't care about Malik. He doesn't care about the Kings. Jack, yes, you're in there, Jack. You are near the top, my man. Let's see. Right there, Jack. Got you. Right there, Jack. You are entered. We are waiting on Kevin. Kevin, tweet me. James, you don't see your number. Okay. Am I missing your number, James? I thought I saw you, James. Sorry, this is being a little bit kind of a bad host here. I just want to make sure I get this right. James. All right, I'll put your name on there. I thought I put your number in there, James. Maybe I entered it wrong. All right, so James, we will add you, my man. All right, Kevin, my man, do it. Oh, Patrick, dang it, Patrick. Okay, now we're trickling in. All right, there's Kevin. Kevin is in. Patrick, retweet the show for me, buddy, so I can put you in here. Retweet the show, Patrick. All right, James is in. Kevin is in. A haunted horse is not on the wheel. Patrick, do me we got a late one. Wait, no. Is that Flores? I already got you. Did you just text me again? No, you're good. Entry. Wait a minute. Did we just get a late entry? 7580. That's a late entry. 7580 made it in. All right. Patrick, text the show or retweet it really quick for me to be fair for everybody. All right. So that might be Corn Dog, y'all. Corn Dog might have just entered himself in at the last second. All right. 7580. You made it in. All right, Patrick, I'll put you in. Consensus, everybody good with Patrick going in? I think we're all good with that. Patrick is here all the time. Okay. All right. So here we go. It's it. We are closed off. Oh, that's you, Alberto. Perfect. Alberto is in. All right. 7580. All right. So we are going to spin the wheel. This is for the free Malik Monk signed jersey compliments of True Sports Cards and collectibles. It is a live spin. I'm going to hit the middle of the wheel. You guys ready? All right. Here we go. Mark is the winner of the signed Malik Monk jersey. Compliments of True Sports Cards and collectibles. Hey, Baki, you were close, my man. Baki, you were so close. It almost stopped there. And I'm thinking, how the hell are we going to get this thing to Serbia? But you are a pretty damn hardcore Kings fan, as all of you are. But again, big thanks to True Sports Cards and collectibles for the jersey. And again, a huge thanks to all of you. This is not the only time that we are going to be doing these giveaways, by the way. Mark, I'll get in touch with you. I got you on X. So this that jersey almost got an accent. Well done, Adam. This is not the only time that we are going to be doing giveaways like this. We are going to keep doing giveaways. In fact, yes, we are going to be here at 8:00 tonight. Appreciate that. Weak spin. Here we go. We're talking junk. But no, I appreciate all you getting us to 1,000 followers. I appreciate Emran and his staff for coming on the show, donating the jersey. But also, this is the start of something really cool at the King's Court. I was going to announce that we're going to do a King's Court get together, but then some of you approached Grant and you said, can we do a Bennett's get together? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to make it all in one. We are going to do a King's Court, and if you don't like that get together this season at Bennett's for a Kings away game, so that way nobody that is going to the game has to miss out, by the way. And we are going to have you out. We're going to have some special guests too, by the way. Anybody that was with us 3 years ago when Grant and I shaved our heads at Bennett's, and we filled the entire restaurant and almost the entire patio, which was so cool to have that many people there. But we raised almost $16,000 for charity. But some of the names that were there, the G-Man was in the house there. You guys got to meet and mingle with the G-Man. The one and only Jerry Reynolds was there. We're going to get some special guests there with us this time around as well. And we're going to continue to do cool things around here. We're going to be releasing some new merch for both the King's Court and also for If You Don't Like That. That will be coming before the start of the basketball season. But most importantly, we're going to make this personable, especially my end of the King's Court. Grant, because of where he's at in Florida, it's a little bit harder. I want to do more get-togethers. I want to do things, get to know all of you, because this is not just like this show we're building. This has turned into a little bit of community, and it's really cool because I'm not in charge of it. It's really all of you. You guys are getting to know each other, and I love seeing the friendship. I love seeing the correspondence going back and forth, and we're headed into our third season doing the Kings pre, post, and halftime shows. And we are extremely pumped up for those. We're going to continue improving the product as we have been doing. We're adding in so many different aspects, as you guys have seen, upgrading the graphics. We're doing sound drops now. And we're going to be integrating other things as the season goes along. But especially with the King's Court, covering the Stockton Kings as closely as I did last year, and covering the Kings and then covering them with Grant together. Such an amazing experience, a blessed experience. I'm just like any of you that grew up watching these Kings, listening to Grant and Jerry, and it's not lost upon me getting to crack this microphone open and getting to call them friends and work with them. It blows my mind. And I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And I want to run through a fucking wall for all of you to get you the best Kings coverage and the best insight on the Kings in town, regardless of credentialing, regardless of any of that. Any of you that know me know I'm going to run through the fucking wall to get you guys the answers and get you the best Kings coverage that we can have. So that all is going to continue. Nothing will change. Kings Court morning shoot-arounds coming back. I can promise you that. So make sure you're subscribed on Spotify. Make sure that you are subscribed on Apple Podcasts, because that is where you get a lot of good stuff. And I break the game down I feel like I break the game down well, but I break it down to a fundamental level. So all of you can relate. You guys can build upon that. And also, you guys make the conversations so much better around here, so much better, and you challenge us. So thank you all very much. Fun day. Congratulations, Mark, on the jersey. Mark, I will be reaching out to you to get that set up. In fact, I will send the information to them, but I'll reach out to you as well, Mark. You can pick that up at True Sports Cards and Collectibles. Again, a huge thanks to them. Make sure you're back with us tonight, 8 o'clock. Grant and I going to be wrapping up the night. In fact, it'll be our last If You Don't Like That show of the week with Grant. We'll be back tomorrow here on the King's Court for Royal Rumble Friday. Be doing our WWE segment with Adam and having a little fun, wrapping up the week, send you into the weekend. 2 o'clock. The rest of the month and the first week of September, I will be off on vacation. I'll definitely be getting you some audio up on Spotify and Apple Podcasts to hold you over until we are back, and we are banging it through with football season.
Holy moly, Jimbo Bowling.
Go Kings, light the damn beam. Congratulations, Mark. Huge thanks to True Sports Cards and Collectibles. Do me a favor, go support the shop. Listen to their show on Saturday mornings, 10 a.m. on 1140. Huge thanks to them for the jersey, and most of all, the biggest thanks to all of you. Go Kings, light the damn beam. Court is dismissed.